All right, shalom, shalom. This is Brother Quanah Watt from the Arizona Great Millstone Camp. Come back at you, Lord will, with the edifying street teaching to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem El Shah. Before I get started, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim out here pushing this gospel and truth and sincerity to the best of their ability given to them by Yahweh Shem El Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh Bashim Shai, Lord willing, fall upon all your houses. And man, so we're back out here, man, again, ultimately to warn, you Israelites, man, and not only to warn, to preach that gospel, man, that good news, right? And the good news is, hey, we're at the end, right? Which the end consists of, a lot of different things, man, right? The scriptures say that in the last days, perilous times shall come, right? So judgment, Yahweh Shem Shai is going to pour out that judgment, man, right? And a lot of judgment that you Israelites are going to receive, right? Because again, 2/3 of our people are going to receive of that great judgment, right? 2/3 of our people are going to perish, man, you know? So let's grab this is Ezekiel 3:17. It says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word of my mouth and give them warning from me. And that's exactly what we're doing, right? We're giving the people warning, going out to the highways and byways, right? Doing video epistles every single day, warning our people, which is you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? As well as you Israelites that look like the nations you've been scattered in, but yet through the lineage of your father are Israelites, right? We're warning you people, right? A judgment is coming, right? Again, repeating it, 2 Timothy 3:1. Know this, that in the last days, perilous time shall come. You go into that word perilous, it goes to injurious and full of death, right? Death is coming, man, for 2/3 of you people. And again, that major judgment, right, that Yahweh Shem Shai is going to give you people over to is what? Jacob's trouble, right? When Esau Edom ultimately comes down having great wrath, and not only that, there's going to be famine in that time, right? There's going to be cannibalism, there's going to be, earthquakes, so on and so forth. Jacob's trouble, right, is described as a day that has, a day like no other, right? A day that has never happened, in history before, man. And this is what a lot of you that's the time period in which a lot of you Israelites are going to be put to death for your wickedness, man. Keep reading. It says in verse 18, it says, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thy hand. Right. So ultimately, if we didn't come out here to warn you, right, even though, not only are we required, but we're obligated, right, having this truth, having this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right, we're obligated to come out here, right, and speak this word to you. But if we don't, right, well, guess what? We're going to be punished for it, man. And again, this is why we're, with that understanding, this is why we're out here, man, because we don't want to have your people's blood on our hands, man, right? We want to be responsible for what we do and not what you do. Therefore, we're going to come out here and warn you, so that way your blood is on your hands, man. That way the ball is in your court, Verse 19, it says, yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. That's right. Meaning, hey, guess what? You're ultimately going to perish. If you don't want to turn away from your wickedness, hey, when that time comes, and it's coming, right? It's coming. Jacob's trouble is right around the corner, right? You have Esau, he's setting up this, going back, I want to say a week ago, right? He started this test pilot, right? This 12-week pilot for this CBDC here in America, right? Which is ultimately basically, get results on, what I mean? He might have a handful. You got Wells Fargo, you got the U.S. Bank, so on and so forth. All these TD Bank and all this other stuff. All these banks are basically doing these little trials, right? Helping, Esau to push his agenda, right? Doing these little trials and showing you, showing them how basically it's going to work, right? If people are going to, eat it up, or people are going to deny it, right? Which, again, we're only 1 week into that trial, man. So Esau's basically having this be done so he can get his data, right? Just like he did with the Icky Vicky, man. To see how many people are going to bow down to the system, right? he already has his data on that, right? So now he's ultimately taking the next steps, man, right? You already got Canada, right? It's called Van City Bank, and guess what? They're already implementing, their carbon, was it carbon footprint, was that tracer, man, right? So they can ultimately now trace, right, the carbon emissions in which you put out, right, to see what you eat, to see when you're eating, where you go, right? Because again, your car puts out that carbon emissions. That's why you have to go do your emissions test on your car, right? If it's putting out too much carbon, well, guess what? And the car doesn't pass emissions, right? So, hey, Esau is he's trying to dibble and dabble on everything as far as being able to see and control who and where you go, and who and what you do in your life, man. You know, all these things are basically being implemented as we speak. And a lot of you Israelites don't see it. A lot of you Israelites are not privy to what's going on, man. So let me move on. Again, going into Jacob's trouble, man. Because again, that's the time that's right around the corner. Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 5, it says, "For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness," right, man? Again, describing how fearful that day is going to be, right? Even the mightiest men, right, of this world are going to be in complete terror, man. They're going to be in complete fear, right? Your Dwayne the Rock Johnsons, your what is it? Those bodybuilders, all those, even your Andrew Tates, man, right? Even your Sneakos, all these so-called masculine men in the world, hey, they're gonna have a hard time in that day, man, right? When Jacob's trouble hits, hey, guess what? They're gonna be fucked, man. Because at the end of the day, it's not about how masculine you are. It's not about how much money you have. It's not about how pretty your woman is, or how good you look, or how nice your car is, right? It's about you being right with Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right with the Lord, man. Because if you're not right with Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, well, guess what? He's going to deliver you up to the destruction that's going to come, man. And it's going to be, it's not going to be, something that, you think it's going to be light, right? It's not going to be just a slap on the wrist, man. It's going to be something very gruesome. And the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is going to give a lot of you Israelites up to your fears, man. Let me finish this out and I'll grab that precept, right? This is Jeremiah 30 and 7. It says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it," right, man? So a lot of you Israelites, right, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right, as well as you Israelites that look like the other nations, right, are going to be in straits, man. In that time period, right? Because it says a day, but in reality, it's longer than a day, right? It's a time period, right? However long it may be, But again, a lot of you Israelites are going to be given up to your fears, man. Let me grab this, Isaiah 66 and verse 4. It says, "I will also choose their delusions, and I will bring their fears upon them." Hey, this is in the scriptures, man. Right? So a lot of you Israelites, hey, whether your fear is starving to death, right? Or your fear is drowning or burning, or being eaten alive, by animals or humans or whatever it may be. Hey, the Lord's gonna give you up to those fears in that day, man. Because again, hey, Jacob's trouble is going to be mixed with cannibalism, right? Because as you see right now, hey, the supply chain is done, right? There's no food coming in, right, from America, from other countries to America. No food is coming in, right? You have the Mississippi River is dried up, right? So there's no transport, right, from the southern states to the Midwest, or the Midwest to the southern states. There's no transport, man. That's just completely dried up, right? You have you got the down south. They like to eat their gumbo, their shrimp, their this, that's dried up, man. So where they gonna get it? So there's a lot less food. On top of that, you have prices for diesel going up, right? Which is, we already had an example of an added thorn in the side of this supply chain, right? With the trucker strike that happened maybe a year ago, right? They went on strike because of the prices. They went on strike because of the labor, right? How they were being treated. And that's very well going to happen again. And you got the union, right? The rail union, right, for the trains and everything like that, hey, they're still debating about a strike, man. They're saying by December 5th, right, which is not this coming Monday, but the next Monday, right? They're thinking about going on a strike, man. They're saying no, you know, they're not going to accept these deals that the government is pushing out there, man. They're saying no, it's not good enough. No, we want sick pay. No, we want better pay. You know, we want the whole labor union as far as the railroad to be better, right? So that way they can hire more and people feel more comfortable being and doing that job, man. But that's not how it's playing out, right? So all these things affect the supply chain, affect the food and consumer goods that are in these stores, man. Right? So that's going to lead to what, right? When these stores start to, start to empty, right, and start to dwindle in their supply, what's going to happen? That's going to go straight to, Isaiah, second Esdras, the 6th chapter. Let's grab that. We'll go back to the Isaiah, right? Second Esdras, 6th chapter, 22nd verse. It says, and suddenly, right? And suddenly, meaning at an instant, at a moment, right? One day you'll be at the store, right? The next moment, you'll walk into a store, the next day, because you might have forgot something, you walk into the store the next day, and what happens? You're looking around, there's no food on the shelves, man. Because when people really start to see the supply really dwindling and there's not really much food, prices are going up, and what's going to happen? People are going to start panicking, right? People are going to start panic buying, That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt these stores as well, man. People are going to start panic buying, It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, meaning that these storehouses are not going to have no food in them, man. Right? It says, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Right? So if you have a fear of starving, well, guess what? You're going to starve. And that's just going to lead into that cannibalism, right? Because the very first victims are going to be your children, man. Are going to be children. Let me grab this. Second Esdras 15, I think it's verse 57. Oh no, Slakia. Let me go to Jeremiah 19. Jeremiah 19. Right here, verse 8. It says, and I will make this city desolate and a hissing. Everyone that passeth thereby shall be astonished and hiss because of all the plagues thereof. And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters, and they shall eat everyone the flesh of his friend in the siege and straightness, wherewith their enemies, and they that seek their lives shall straighten them. That's right, man. So hey, this is prophecy, man. This is what's going to happen, right? Ecclesiastes 1:9, there's no new thing under the sun. So just as this happened in the ancient times, right, it's going to happen again, except in this time, right? So you got people, these storehouses are going to be empty, right? There's not going to be no food. People are going to be rioting, right? Breaking and kicking in doors, right? Second Esdras 15 chapter, the 19th verse, right? People are going to be spoiling each other's houses, right, for the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And then that's going to stop because eventually nobody's going to have no food in their house, man. So then it's going to turn to cannibalism, man. People are going to be eating each other, man. Right? And people don't believe that this is ever going to happen in their lifetime. And well, matter of fact, let's grab this. Ezekiel chapter 12 in verse 27. Actually, verse 25, it says, for I am the Lord Yahweh. I will speak. And the Lord's speaking right now, man. He has his prophets out here, right? He speaks to the ministry of the prophets, right? The prophets are out here on the highways and byways, and telling you people what's up, man. Telling you people what's to come, right? Warning you. We brought it out in Ezekiel 3:17, right? All the way to 19, right? Warning you that if you don't turn away from your wickedness, hey, guess what? The Lord is going to destroy you. And there's many different ways in which the Lord is going to destroy you, right? And you're gonna find out. You're gonna find out, right? It says, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass. It's coming to pass, man. Right? With Esau Edom establishing these CBDCs and pushing this charagma, the RFID chip, right? That's Revelation 13 and verse 16 and 17 starting to speak, as it says in Habakkuk 2 and 3, right? For the vision is yet for an appointed time, which we're in that time, and at the end it shall speak, and it's speaking right now, man. Everything's coming to fruition, man. You already have 260 million people, right, in China already linked up to the digital yuan, man. Everything is digital over there. And you got Klaus Schwab talking about how they want to, or that China is a role model for what the rest of these countries should be doing, man. Those strict laws, right? Social footprint, carbon footprint, right? Low wages, sweatshops, this that, and the third, lockdowns. Klaus Schwab from the World Economic Forum is saying that China is a role model in which the rest of these nations should pick up, man, and implement within their own countries. Right? Come on now. You know, that's harsh. You know? But yeah, that's where we're headed, man. That's where we're headed. And a lot of you people, right, though you be told, right, a lot of y'all are just, you know, you're not listening, man. You're not listening. You know, you don't give a shit, right? If it's not in your daily routine, being wicked as hell, and guess what? You don't give a fuck about it, man. Right? And that's what's gonna catch a lot of you people unawares, man. Right? Because as it says in Luke 21 and verse 34, right, that if you are soaked in the cares of this life, right, drunkenness, you know, surfeiting, so on and so forth, and what's gonna happen? That day is gonna come upon you unawares, man. You know, like it says, verse 35, like as a snare shall come upon all them that dwell upon the earth, man. You know, Ezekiel 12 verse 25. I'll start at the top again. For I am the Lord Yahweh, I will speak, and the word that I shall speak, it shall come to pass. It shall be no more prolonged, for in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word and will perform it, saith the Lord. That's right, man. You know, when you go into the NLT, it says, for in your generation, right? Meaning your generation, man. You know, the Lord, every time the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai goes to bring down a nation, what happens? He sends his prophets out there first, man. You can read that in the history book, man. You know, in the history book I'm talking about is the Bible, man. You can read that in the Bible. You know, tells you all about that. It gives you instances in which the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai has had that happen, right? Which is every instance, man. You know. So let's go back to that Isaiah 66 and verse 4. You know, just dealing with those fears that are going to come upon you people, man, right? Because we already read that those that have a fear of starving, hey, that's what's gonna take place. Famine's gonna take place. Esau's gonna come in, right, and force that charagma, right? So there's gonna be people being gunned down. If you have a fear of being shot or don't want to be shot or whatever it may be, right? There's just a couple things, right? A couple things, you know, just literally a small list of things that are going to take place in that day. You know, it says Isaiah 66 and verse 4, I also will choose their delusions and will bring their fears upon them, because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, none did hear. Right. And again, the Lord is some with the elder apostles of Great Millstone on down. Hey, the Lord is speaking, right? Again, he sends his prophets out there and he tells you and he warns you, right, through his prophets. But a lot of y'all ain't gonna listen, man. A lot of y'all want to sit here and just be in this world, you know, and not give a shit about what's coming. As it says in Second Esdras, the 16th, or this Second Esdras chapter 7 and verse 16, where it says, why hast thou considered in thy mind? Why hast thou not considered in thy mind the thing that is to come rather than that which present? You know, a lot of people are celebrating this Thanksgiving and Halloween and Christmas, right? Which is celebrating the death of Christ, you know, a death of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, you know, or the death of Yahweh Shai, right? Because, you know, Mas meaning death, and Christ is, you know, obviously Yahweh Shai, right? The anointed, right? So they're just celebrating the death of our big brother Yahweh Shai, man, right? So you're celebrating all these wicked ass, you know, pagan holidays, man, right? Not knowing what you're celebrating, man, not knowing what you're following, you know, being just walking and being on that broad and wide path, which leadeth unto destruction, man. You know. It says, when I spake, they did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and chose that in which I delighted not. Right, man? Because again, at the end of the day, the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is giving you two options, man. You know? He's giving you two options, life and death, right? That broad and wide path or the straight and narrow, man. And we understand that 2/3 of our people are going to choose, right, that broad and wide path, man. You know, let's grab this. Is Jeremiah chapter 8 and verse 3. It says, and death, right, and death shall be chosen rather than life by all the residue of them that remain of this evil family. Right, so 2/3 of you Israelites are going to choose death, which is the ways of the world, right? Because again, scriptures say, love not the world nor the things of the world, right? Because if you love the world and the things of the world, the love of the Father is not in you, right? So if you choose the world and you're looking at Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and what he has to offer, if you choose him and saying, nah, I don't want that, right? Which is dumb as hell, man. Because again, the scriptures also say in 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, right? It's the 18th verse, that everything that's here is temporal, man. You know, your phone can only last so long, right? Your car can only last so long before it breaks down, right? Your house can only last so long before you have to start, doing repairs, right? Your clothes only last so long. On top of that, this place is only going to last so long. And you already got Russia, China, North Korea, right? Iran, right? All talking about bombing the shit out this place, man. Bombing the shit out of America, right? And again, you can't say it's not going to happen. We just read in Ezekiel, the 12th chapter, that the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai said when he speaks, hey, guess what? That word is going to come to pass in your generation, man. Every time the Lord has spoken, it's always come to pass, man. Every single time, right? Whether you believe it or not, your belief does not mean that the prophecy isn't fulfilled, man. Just because you don't believe does not mean that prophecy will not come to pass. Period, point blank. You know, the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai doesn't have respect to persons, so he's not going to sit here and hold off prophecy till you fucking believe, man. That's not how it fucking works, man. You know, going back to it, Jeremiah 8:3 says, and death shall be chosen rather than life by all the residue of them that remain of this evil family, which remain in all the places where I have driven them, saith the Lord of hosts. That's right. So again, 2/3 of our people have chose death, chose to continue to engage in the wickedness of this world. Therefore, the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is going to deliver you up to that death and destruction. Let's go back to Isaiah, the 65th chapter, going back one chapter, right? Starting at verse 12, right? It says, therefore will I number you to the sword, right? And that sword, again, is symbolic for many different things, right? All the different kinds of judgments that are going to take place in the time of Jacob's trouble, right? Even judgment that's happening right now, right? You had that hurricane that just went through, from coming from the south, right? From Florida going all the way up to New York, man. You know? Hey, that shit was bad, man. We're talking about hundreds of people were put to death. Hey, well, what about the judgment that's going on over there in Iran, right? Where 14,000 people were arrested and 300 people, Slovakia. I just read the article the other day. 300 people, right, were put to death, man. You know? Hey, what about that situation? I think it was in India, right? There was a soccer game that was going on, right? And what happened? Right, something broke out. I didn't necessarily get into the details. Hey, but people were being trampled on and killed, man. Hey, well, what about that Mo Club, right? That just got shot up and I think it was in Colorado, right? 5 people dead, 14 injured, right? Hey, so judgment is going out. Zephaniah 3:5, right? Judgment is Yahweh Shem Shai showing his judgment, bringing out his judgment every single day, right? And you could be next, man. You could be next, and the Lord is going to deliver you up to a judgment that you ultimately fear. Hey, you got people being eaten by fucking alligators, man. There was a man and woman who ultimately saw their 4-year-old son get eaten by a fucking alligator, man. They watched that shit happen when that hurricane came. Come on, man. That's fucking judgment, man, from Yahweh Shem Shai. And that's another version of the sword, man. You know, famine, which again, we just went through the scriptures, and that's already starting to take hold of this world, man. Not just here in America, right? Not just in South America, not just in Europe, and with the whole world, man. And when China went to go lockdown, people when they locked down, right? there was a little bit of food left on the shelves. Hey, when they opened it back up and allowed people to come out and buy stuff before they locked it back down again, hey, what happened? Hey, the shelves were already almost bare, but everything that was left on there already, hey, that shit was gone. Their markets, right? The little fresh, fresh food markets, whatever, hey, that shit was gone. People were carrying pigs by the fucking, you know what I mean? By the body, man. People were grabbing 50, 60-pound bags of rice, taking that shit home, man, just in case they locked down again. And they did. Everything was gone, man. They bought up everything that they could. So how much more is that going to hit here in America, man? They're talking about, Klaus Schwab talking about that's the China, and what's happening in China is a system that should be implemented everywhere, man. That's what they said. That's what the so-called white man said of the World Economic Forum, man. So shit is about to hit the fan. Shit is about to get real fucking bad, man. Over in China, man, you got people sitting in their homes crying and screaming, man. Right? You got people jumping out of buildings, killing themselves. And that's judgment, man. That's another form of the sword in which is going to take place. It says, therefore will I number you to the sword, meaning you 2/3. 2/3 of our people are going to be put to death, man. 2/3 of our people are going to be slaughtered by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. Because the Lord is in control of all things, man. The Lord is in control of this, right? He says, what? I create darkness and I create life, or a light, He created good and evil, man. So he's in control of that, man. That's why it says, right? It's in what is that? 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 11. It says, knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men, but we are made manifest unto the Most High, and our trust also are made manifest unto your conscience, right? So hey, we know what Yahweh Bashim Yahushai can do, man. And as the scriptures say also in Hebrews, the 10th chapter, it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, man. You don't want Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to ditch out that judgment to you, man, because he's going to do it in the nastiest way possible, man. You hear people having trees smashed down on them, right? You have just like that pile up that happened in Texas, man. Right? It was a year or two ago. There was like 200-300 cars piled up. Semi-truck slamming into cars, man. Semi-truck after semi-truck after semi-truck. Cars being fucking smushed, man. Come on, man. That's judgment. Right? Going back. Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 12. Therefore I will number you to the sword, and you shall all bow down to slaughter, because when I called you, then I answered. Right? We just read this in the chapter going forward, Isaiah the 66th chapter, right? Meaning the Lord saying the Lord is going to bring forth all of your delusions and your fears upon you because you didn't want to listen, right? It's just another form, man, backing that up, right? Well, I number you to the sword, which again started going into the famine, destruction, or the famine, Esau Edom, right? Because again, it's going into Psalms 17, chapter 13 verse, and the Lord called Esau Edom, the wicked, his sword, man. Right, and we understand that Esau Edom has the blessing of the sword. And so the Lord of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is going to use his sword to take you out, take a lot of you jakes out, man. As well as earthquakes, as well as storm and tempest, right? Again, and plagues, right? Again, the sword is symbolic for many different forms of judgment, man. Right? It says, because when I called you did not answer, when I spake you did not hear, but did evil before my eyes and did choose, that one I delighted not, right, man? A lot of you jakes need to repent, man, because judgment is coming. Judgment is right around the corner, right? A lot of you jake, hey, you need to repent. Leave off from the ways that which you're following as of right now, right? Romans the 12th chapter, right? Be not conformed to the ways of the world, because again, the path that the world is on is a downhill path, man. That's the path that's going to lead to you being destroyed, man. And you don't want to be on that path, man. You want to be on that straight and narrow path, which is an uphill path. It's a hard path. It's not one that everybody wants to walk on. Hey, but that one leads to life, man. that leads to you being on top, man. Right? You know, because at the end of the day, as we read in Jeremiah 30:7, it says, but he shall be saved out of it. Right? That's talking about the elect, man. Right? So just as 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed, and the Lord is going to save him a remnant of the Israelites, right? The elect of the nation of Israel, right? Because in this time, they're going to turn to Yahweh Shai, knowing and hearing all this, right? That's going to strike fear in them, right? To say, oh shit, I need to get right. You know, because as it says in Sirach, the 19th chapter, hey, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of being accepted of him. Right? You fear Yahweh Shai, which is what we're commanded, right? Going into Ecclesiastes 12:13, right? To fear the Lord and keep his commandments. You know? And fear is a great motivator because it'll have you doing what you need to do in order to avoid that punishment, man. That is coming, that judgment that is coming. You know? But the elect, hey, they're gonna turn away from this world, man. You know, as it says in Isaiah, right? Reading a lot of Isaiah, right? Isaiah 10 and verse 20. Isaiah 10:20, it says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, right, a residue or an elect, right, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. That's right, man. They're going to turn back, like it says in Baruch, the 2nd chapter, right? Even though there's a stiff-necked people, right? And they're going to return and bethink themselves in the land of their captivities, man. We're in our land of captivity, and guess what? The Lord Yahweh Shai has opened up a group to know, right? He's opened up the minds of the people to know who they are, and within that group, he's opened up their minds to know the truth, man. To be able to know the true name of the Heavenly Father and his only beloved begotten Son, they call upon those names, man. You know, that group right there, that's the ones that the Lord Yahweh Shai is dealing with, man. That small group, that remnant, right? It says, verse 21, it says, the remnant shall return, right? So only because ultimately we're speaking to all Israel, man. All you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we're speaking to all y'all. But we understand, right, that only a small group of you are going to turn from their wickedness and turn to Yahweh Shai, right? It says the remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, which Jacob and Israel are interchangeable, right? It says unto the mighty power. It's like it says, for though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, because you understand, Jake breeds, man. And the so-called Hispanics, so-called blacks, they breed like rabbits, man. You know? And I personally would know I got 5, man. You know, so that right there, Jake breeds like rabbits, man. You know? All over the world, Jake is breeding, man. You got Israelites all over the world in every single nation, man. You know? It says, for though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, which you can't number the children of Israel, right? Because there's so many of us, man, right? You can't go up to a beach and grab a grain of sand and count every single one. And you'll never finish it, man, right? Because the sand is constantly being created, man, constantly being created, right? Look up a parrotfish, man. They go and they scrape the algae off rocks and they basically shit out sand, right? And that's the cycle of it, man. Just constantly being created, man. Right? So there's no end to it, just like there's no end to Israel, man. You know? It says, yet a remnant of them shall return, the consumption decree shall overflow with righteousness. That's right, man. You know, only a remnant is going to return, right? Which is the elect, and praise Yahweh Shai. Sirach, the 17th chapter, the 10th verse. The elect shall praise his holy name. So they're going to turn away from these false idols, right? They're going to turn away from celebrating these false holidays, such as Christmas, right? Or which is Saturnalia, right? Or Cornucopia, which is Thanksgiving, right? Or Halloween, which is a wicked ass holiday or holiday, right? Or fucking Easter, or all these different pagan ass, wicked ass holidays, man. That have nothing but wickedness attached to them. They're going to turn away from that, right? And turn to Yahweh Shai, follow after righteousness, man. Right? And in the times to come, the Lord is going to protect them. The Lord is going to make sure that they're good, man. Let's grab this. Because again, we touched on a little bit of that famine that's going to take place, man. And the Lord is going to make sure that those that serve Him, they're going to eat, man. Going back to Isaiah the 65th chapter and continuing on, jumping to verse 13, it says, "Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, behold, my servant shall eat." So those that are taking heed to this word, right? Those that are making their calling of election sure now, man, right? Serving Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai to the best of their ability. Every law, statute, commandment that they're able to keep, right? They're trying to keep it, man. By not shaving off their beards, right? Because that's a law that we're able to keep, right? By not sleeping with another man's wife, right? And so not eating shrimp, crab, lobster, pork, right? That's a law that we're able to keep. Deuteronomy 22:5. A man not wearing woman's clothes, or a woman wearing man's clothes. That's something that we're able to keep, right? That not only does that show that you fear Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, but that you have faith in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And again, it's by our faith, and I've said this multiple times. It's by our faith is what's going to get us out of here, man. See, the elect are going to show forth that faith, right? Because faith without works is dead, right? So you can't say you have faith and not show that you have faith, man. Hey, those are the ones that are going to eat in these days, man. Those are the ones that are going to be protected from the famine that's to come, right? Protected from, Esau, Edom, right? That's the remnant. That's the elect. Everyone else is going to be subject to whatever judgment Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai has coming to them, man. Right? Isaiah 65:13. "Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry." Right? So this is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai speaking directly to you 2/3. Right? Saying, hey, you're going to starve, man. You're going to starve, and you're going to end up eating your own children. Or you're going to end up eating your spouse. Right? You're going to end up eating your neighbor. Right? You're going to get so hungry, right? Your stomach is going to be touching your back so much that the person standing next to you is going to look like food, man. Right? And you can't say that this, that's something that's fantasy, because this shit has happened in real life, man. This shit has happened in real life. Why people think that everything that you hear when it comes to something bad is just a fucking joke, man. No, this shit really happened, and it's gonna happen again in your generation, in your time. If you people don't start fucking getting right, man, getting some fucking. It says, "Behold, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty." Right? And we know the average person can only go 3-4 days without water. Hey, people are gonna start getting real fucking delusional out here, man. People are already starting to make decisions at the pump, right? Whether they're gonna put a fucking full gas tank in, or they're gonna spend more money on food, right? If you don't put that full gas tank in, guess what? You're gonna be hungry, right? You're gonna be hungry. But even then, if you don't put that gas tank in, you can't go to work to continue to buy gas, buy food. Right? Prices are going up, wages aren't, right? So now people are feeling that pressure more and more and more. It's only going to get worse. It's not going to get better. It's not going to get better, man. It's going to get worse. These are the times that we are in, But the Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is going to protect those that serve him in this time. Not when it's too fucking late. Now, it says, "My servant shall drink, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed." Why? Because Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is going to be doing miracles for him, man. Just touching on a miracle for when that famine hits. Let's go to was that 1 Kings the 17th chapter, right? Dealing with Elijah the Tishbite. Let's read that, man. Let's go into this account, because this is beautiful, right? The scriptures say the things that are written aforetime are written for our learning, man. Right here, 1 Kings 17:1, it says, "Elijah the Tishbite, who was of the inhabitants of Gilead, said unto Ahab, As the Lord Yahweh power of Israel liveth, before whom I stand, there shall not be dew nor rain these years, but according to my word." So meaning what? There was going to be a famine, right? Then the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, "Get thee hence and turn thee eastward, and hide thyself by the brook Cherith, that is before Jordan." Right? So ultimately, the Lord guided this man, right, to a place where he can drink, right? With the famine going on, right? He trusted on the Lord to bring him to a place where he can drink some water. Stay hydrated, right? Because as it says in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Lord is your guide. You know, we have to believe that, man. We have to know that the Lord is going to guide us, right? Protect us, because that's what that word guide means, right? To keep in safe custody, right? To care, right? To keep, right? To protect, right? The Hebrew word for that word, keep, goes into shamar, meaning to protect, man. It's like, yeah, right? Yahweh Shem Yahshua is going to protect us, man, right? It says, verse 4, it says, and it shall be that thou shalt drink of the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed thee there. So imagine that. Hey, the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, when he gets there, there's going to be birds that are going to bring him food. He's going to be by the brook to drink water, and there's going to be birds that are going to bring him food, right? It says right here, verse 5, so he went and did according to the word of the Lord, for he went and dwelt by the brook Cherith that is before Jordan. And the ravens brought him bread and flesh in the morning and bread and flesh in the evening, and he drank of the brook. So these are the miracles in which Yahweh Shem Shai is going to have done for those that serve him, man. That's why they're going to rejoice, man. They're going to rejoice and praise Yahweh Shem Shai's holy name, because they're going to be fed. They're going to be hydrated. They're going to be taken care of. Everybody else is going to be asked out. And this is why we have to make our call of election sure, because if we don't, we're not going to receive of these miracles, man. That is a miracle right there. The Lord commanding a bird to bring you food. I don't know nobody that has had a bird bring them food, man. I know people that have had food in their hand and the bird comes snatch that shit out their hand, but not vice versa. You know? So that's a miracle, man. And when these famines start to kick in, hey, you're gonna see, hey, that's all the scriptures say, there shall be known who my chosen are, man. Roughly paraphrasing that scripture, man. Hey, because the Lord is gonna show everybody, right? Those men are gonna be good. Those men and their families are gonna be taken care of by Yahweh Shem Shai. Right? And a lot of you people are gonna come up to those men of the Lord, hey, but you know, you're not part of the circle, man. You're just not part of the circle. You know? But that's dealing with that famine, right? So dealing with Esau Edom coming in, right? Coming in like a flood, you know, coming down having great wrath. Hey, the Lord is going to raise up a standard against this damn devil, man. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 19. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. You know, and you go into that word standard, it goes into to put to flight, right? To fly away, to escape, right? So the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, and when Esau Edom comes in, right, with his new technology, because again, you got San Francisco talking and trying to pass a law, and where they're able to actually use these robots for lethal force. They're saying as a last straw, or you know the last action, right, that they take when it comes to dealing with these situations. Hey, but you best believe, first off, that China has an army of robot dogs that have fucking snipers on their fucking back. You can look this shit up, right? You can go on Google and look this shit up. You know, I'm not just saying shit, you know, out my ass. No, this is stuff that you can literally look up. You can look up San Francisco trying to pass a law for robots to use lethal force, man. You can look that shit up your damn self, man. This is stuff that's going on right now, right? You have a mask body armor, right, that Esau has created that can take a 44 fucking Magnum bullet, which is a big ass bullet, to the fucking brain, to the face, right? That face mask that they have, and it still won't penetrate, man. And we're talking about from point blank range, right? So Esau's gonna bring out all these different weapons, all these different tactical gears and everything like that. Right? You got the Google goggles, right? Google made, or the military entered into a deal with Google to make goggles that have 4 different fucking what are those, lenses on it, so to speak, right? And they can see around walls, they can see infrared, they can see all these different things, they can see the layout, right? How many steps does it take to get from here to there in full stride or just walking, right? It all calculates all that shit, man. They can see through fucking concrete with all that shit. You can look these things up. This is what Esau Edom is prepared. He has all this stuff that he's about to use just for this moment, man. you're going to need the Lord in order to be able to get through Jacob's trouble, man. There's no fucking way you're going to be able to escape through unless you have the Lord, man. Unless you have the Lord, you're dead. Hey, but the elect are going to have the Lord. So when Esau Edom comes in with these tactical gear, a full-fledged, boom, kicking open that door, hey, well, guess what? You're going to be put to death, but the elect are going to call upon the name of Yahweh Bashim El Shai. Right? Scripture said that the name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it. Right? So that cuts that name doctrine, man. That you fucking you know, you other camps, you know, talk about, oh, he has many names, or you don't need to know the name. No. Scripture say, you know, Proverbs 30:4. You know, what is his name and his son's name if thou can tell? Right? Because again, Yahweh Shai said in John the 17th chapter that he manifested thy name unto them that he had given them. So hey, there's going to be a group of people, right? A group of men that are going to have that name. Right? So that cuts that whole multiple name, don't need to know the name bullshit, man. The elect are going to call upon that name, and guess what? Hey, the Lord is going to raise up a standard against their enemies for them. Meaning what? Hey, they might get those spiritual powers, man. They might get those spiritual powers, man. And this isn't far-fetched, right? All those movies about spiritual powers, stuff like that, they get it from the scriptures, man. They get it straight from the scriptures. Let's grab this, because hey, even King David, hey, King David was a man. You know, let me look at this up. You know, he said, make my feet like hinds feet, right? This is Psalms 18 and verse 33. It says, he maketh my feet like hinds feet, and setteth me upon my high places. And so imagine, right? Imagine King David, right? King David staring at a fucking building, right? An 18-story building, and saying, and he leaped that shit in one bound. That was King David, man. Who fucking does that? Hulk. So all these things, all these different superheroes and so on and so forth that Esau has created, Hulk, Superman, Captain America, Dr. Marvel, right? All these superheroes and supervillains, right? Esau got from the scriptures, man. You know? It says right here, it says verse 34, Psalms 18:34, he teacheth my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken by mine arms. We're talking about King David. A bow of steel, he just snaps that shit with his arms, man. Come on, man. Extremely strong, extremely fast, right? His legs were strong to where he can leap bounds. You know? And imagine, we're going to have spiritual power greater than that, man. Greater than that. It's going to be something like we've never experienced before, man. You know? Come on, man. The Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai could, in that moment when Esau comes in, and he could give you the power to disappear, man. At that moment. You know? Power to disappear, or power to fly away at the speed of light. You know? Or make you impenetrable and give you super strength to where you can beat all of them up, kill all of them, right? And get out of there, man. Right? To put to flight is what the word standard means in Isaiah 59 and verse 19, right? To put to flight, to escape, right? The Lord is going to give you a way to escape, whether it be an angel, right, coming and you know, putting like this force field around you, man, to where they're shooting bullets, but it can't penetrate, man. You know, this isn't far-fetched. This isn't far-fetched. This is something that is actually going to take place. We don't know how it's going to take place or what brother is going to receive that spiritual power, right? But these things are in the scriptures, man. You know, whether you like it or not. You know? And the Lord is going to get through those times, man. You know? We grab this. This is Job chapter 5 and verse 19. It says, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall evil touch thee. Right? That 7 is the number of completion, right? And so that complete destruction or that complete evil that is, troubles the complete trouble is what? Those ICBM nuclear missiles. So not only is the Lord going to get them through Jacob's trouble, right? He's going to get them and deliver them from the destruction, man. That's what it says in Psalms the 91st chapter, right? That they shouldn't be afraid of what? That noisome pestilence, man. Right? He's going to deliver them from the noisome pestilence, man. The snare of the fowler and the noisome pestilence. Which again, the snare of the fowler, right, is the trap that Esau, which is the fowler, has set up, right, as well as the noisome pestilence, which is those ICBM nuclear missiles coming and destroying America, right? So the Lord is going to protect them all the way through that, man. And the Lord is protecting His men now. You know, He's obviously letting us go through stuff and learn, right, and grow, and chastises us so that we can be perfected in the coming days. You know, but still, He's protecting them now, man. Right? Verse 20, it says, in famine He shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. That's right, man. And so the Lord is going to protect His elect, right? Those that serve Him from all the dangers, man, in the coming days, right? Even now, right? It says, verse 21, it says, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of the destruction when it cometh. And that's that noisome pestilence, man. You know, it says, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, and neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. That's right, man. You know, and they're going to be protected. They're going to be straight. They're going to be straight. So when they get through that, what's going to happen? Or as the Lord is protecting them through Jacob's trouble, right, through and through, you know, the World War III that's coming, and what's going to happen, man? The next thing that they're going to be looking forward to is what? That deliverance. As it says in Matthew's 24th chapter, and the Lord is going to send His angels to gather the elect from the four corners of the earth. Those are the ones that the Lord's protecting. Those are the ones that the Lord has ultimately sealed, man. They're going to be delivered, man. And what's going to happen? Hey, when they come down out of those chariots, hey, guess what? It's a game on, man. And you damn devils, all the things that you have done unto the children of Israel, and all that shit within righteousness is going to be done back to you, man. Hey, you Edomites, you got a lot to pay for, man. You know, this is Ezekiel chapter 25, and I'll start at verse 12. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, because that Edom hath dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance and hath greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and will make it desolate from Teman, and they of the Don shall fall by the sword. Right, man? And so the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah is going to destroy this place, man. He's going to destroy the cash cow of you Edomites, right? You self-proclaimed so-called white men, right? You elites, right? You Rockefellers, you Rothschilds, you DuPonts, you Oppenheimers, you Bezos, you Gates, and all y'all, man. Your cash flow is going to be stopped, man. Right? It says verse 14 again, and this is what's going to take place. And when the elect come out of those chariots, man, after watching this place burn and that smoke descends and they come out of those chariots, man, and they're gonna be ready. They're gonna be ready for war, man. Right? It says, and I will lay my vengeance. Right, and this is the Lord speaking. Right, and it says, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. And guess what? The scriptures say to meditate terror, and that's exactly what the men are doing. Right, we're meditating terror on you damn devils, man. Waiting. Right, we're waiting for Yahweh Shemel Shai to come and crack that sky and destroy you motherfuckers, man. Deliver us, you know, Lord will deliver us, and we be part of the elect, right? And as soon as we come out those chariots, it's game the fuck on, man. You know, because hey, Lord will we be part of that. We done made it through Jacob's trouble, right? We done got delivered, right? Through World War III with the ICBM nuclear missiles coming, right? Hey, well, guess what? We ready for war, man. You know, so I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, save the Lord. Hey, so guess what, man? And the Lord is going to put His anger and His fury that He has for y'all upon us, man. And we're going to feel that, man. We're going to feel that anger, man. We're going to feel that irritation. We're going to feel that stress. We're going to feel all that, man. And we're going to pour that shit out upon you damn devils, man. Right? And again, beginning with your elite, Psalms 149 chapter. Matter of fact, let's grab that. Psalms chapter 149, and I'll start at verse 5. It says, "Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praise of the Most High be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand." Right, man? You know, and soon we're going to physically have that sword, man. Right? Slicing you damn devils up, right? It says, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and the punishments upon the people. To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. Meaning, hey, beginning with you elites, right? Of you Edomites, all the way down to you other nations, the leaders of these other nations, all the way down to the peons of all you other nations, right? You're going to go into captivity, man. You're going to be fucking slaves, man. And you're going to get it fucking bad, right? It says to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints, praise you the Lord, right? And you damn devils are going to be in slavery for 1,000 years, man. For a whole fucking 1,000 years, right? And everything that you have done unto us, hey, we're going to do unto you. Obviously, you know, minus the wicked shit, right? The buck breaking, right? The fucking, the cannibalism, right? The taking another man's wife and impregnating her. We ain't going to do that wicked shit, man. Everything that we do is going to be in righteousness, man. Let me grab this. This is Isaiah chapter 60 and verse verse 17 says, actually, you know what? I'll start up. I mean, this is all fire. Well, matter of fact, we'll get this. It's Isaiah 60 and verse 9. It says, "Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of the Lord Yahweh thy power, and the Holy One of Israel, because he has glorified thee." That's right, man. And so all that gold and silver and precious metals and stones and, you know, that you have stolen, right, from all these nations, mainly the Israelites. Hey, guess what? We're going to get that all back. All that back. Right? Verse 10, it says, "And the son of strangers shall build up thy walls." And this proves, hey, yeah, you know, and the slavery is in the Bible, man. Right? And beginning with you elites of the nation of Esau, Edom, right? You're going to go into captivity, man. Right? As Revelation 13:10, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity," man. You know? It says, and their king shall minister unto thee, for in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor I had mercy on thee. Therefore the gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. Hey, so guess what? Hey, our doors are going to be continually open, man, and 24/7, and you're going to be dropping that gold, them precious stones, that silver, right? Everything that you can think of, you're going to be dropping it at our feet, man, and you're going to be bowing. Right, you're gonna be bowing. Hey, once the elect, once Yahweh Shemel Shai brings forth the kingdom, right? Beginning with Yahweh Shai, then King David, right? The 144,000, the rest of the elect. And when that kingdom is established, hey, guess what, man? Hey, you're gonna be bowing down, man. Bowing the fuck down. And you better not look up. You better not look up. Right? Verse 12, it says, "For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish," meaning you're gonna be killed. As soon as you say no, even you think no, go ahead, because we're gonna have that power, right? We're gonna be able to look at you and know your thoughts. Let you think a wrong thought, you're getting killed right then and there on the spot. Right then and there on the spot, right? It says, "Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted." Right? "The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious," right? "And the son also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet," right? So even your kids are going to serve us, man. Your seed and their seed and their seed and their seed, and for 1,000 years, for however many generations, you're going to be serving us, man. You're going to be serving the fuck out of us, man. Whatever the fuck we want, right? And it's going to be a hard bondage, man. It's going to be a lot harder than us. It's going to be twice as long and twice as hard, right? It says, "And they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel," right? And Zion goes into Zion, which means monument, meaning, hey, we're going to be the standard, man, in the earth. Hey, we're going to be the standard of what righteousness is, right? Of what the Lord requires. And guess what? We're gonna be beating the law, statutes, commandments into y'all, man. Beating it into y'all, man. Because y'all gonna have to try to keep the you don't have to keep the law, statutes, commandments, man. And as soon as you fuck up, you get put to death, man. You know? Verse 15, it says, whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations, man. We're gonna be perfect, man. Beginning with the elect of the nation of Israel, right? And eventually all Israel, we're gonna be perfect, man. You know? It says, thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and thou shalt suck the breast of kings, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, thy power and Savior. And thou shalt know that I, the Lord Yahweh, am thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. That's right, man. It says, for brass I will bring gold, and for iron I will bring silver, and for wood brass, and for stones iron. That's right, man. And so think about that, right? It says, and for brass I will bring gold. So think about the abundance of copper, right? Brass, right? It's fucking everywhere, right? It's everywhere. There's so much of it. You can't root it out of the earth, man. There's so much of it. Well, guess what? Take that amount of abundance of brass, and the Lord is going to give that to the Israelites, right? Beginning with the elect, and gold. The same abundance we're going to have of gold, man. It's going to be like, in the time of King Solomon's kingdom, right? Going back, they said that silver was on the ground as stones, man. So nobody was giving a fuck about no silver or gold. They had it all. They had it all. And when the queen of Sheba came up to meet Solomon, and she thought the doorman was Solomon, the king. Why? Because he was even decked out, man. Hey, we're gonna have it better than that, man. We're gonna have it better than that. You know? It says, and here's the point, right? It says, and I will also make thine officers peace and thine exactors righteousness. I mean, again, going back to the point, everything that we do to you damn devils is going to be in righteousness. We're not going to do no wicked shit unto y'all, man. We're going to be perfect, man. We're going to be all righteous. We're not going to be wicked like you damn devils, man. Because y'all did some crazy shit. Scripture said that y'all forwarded the affliction, man. Y'all did more than you were supposed to do. Right? And that's a lot of wicked shit, man. There's so many things that we could bring out. We go on for hours, man, bringing out that shit, man. That's for another lesson. But nonetheless, hey, we're going to be righteous, man. Everything that we do is going to be within righteousness, man. And it's going to be justified that we do it to you. Hey, let you look up at me. I'm just going to slice your fucking head off, man. Hey, you damn devils ain't never going to get no sleep, man. I'm going to take away the want to sleep away from y'all, man. Your eyes are never going to blink. You're going to be up 24/7. The only day that you're going to have any kind of rest, right, is on the, the high holy days, man. The high holy days. That's the only time you're going to have some type of rest, man. You didn't give us no rest. You're going to have some rest. So really, you're going to have it somewhat better than us. Hey, but those 6 days that you work, hey, you damn devils are screwed. Screwed, man. I'll keep reading. Verse 19, it says, violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders. So there's not going to be no more wars, man. There's not going to be no more wars. No more destruction. And you damn devils, we're destroying all your weapons of war, man. Your guns, all that shit. It's getting completely destroyed, man. It says, but thou shalt call thy wall salvation and thy gates praise. Right? It says, the sun shall be no more thy light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. But the Lord shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and thy power, thy glory. Meaning, guess what, man? We're always going to have that light upon us, man. Right? Which is light is just wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. It'll never go out, man. The law, statutes, commandments are going to be written in our inward parts, man. Right? And we'll know them forever. Our heritage won't ever be taken away from us again. Right? The knowledge of who we are and who our power is, and those names will never be taken away from us no more, man. Verse 21 is the people also shall be all righteous again. It's going to start with the elect, but eventually 2/3 are going to come back into the kingdom, right? After they receive their punishment, they're going to come back into the kingdom, with those immortal bodies as well as being able to live forever and righteousness, man. Having that rule and that power, man. It says but there's also there's gonna be a difference, right? A difference between the elect and the regular Israelites, man. But nonetheless, all Israel's gonna be righteous. All Israel's gonna be over these nations, right? It says, they shall inherit the land forever, the branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. So the little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord, will hasten in his time, man. And ultimately, Isaiah the 60th chapter, the whole chapter is beautiful, man, because it goes in on what the kingdom, is possibly going to look like for the Israelites, man. And so when we come down, right, out of those chariots after destruction, right, what's going to happen? We're going to take these damn devils into captivity. All these nations are going into captivity, and they're going to serve us, man, for a long period of time. Esau's going to serve us for 1,000 years. After 1,000 years, he's going to be put to death, man. This is that judgment that's written. And eventually the other nations, hey, they're gonna get set back in their own land, right, and set up their own governments, but they're still gonna be a tributary unto us, man, right? They're still gonna have to, follow the law, statutes, commandments, see how Bashim al Shai. Otherwise, they're gonna be put to death, man. Right? This is what time is building towards, man. Right? Again, you got Jacob's trouble, right? World War III, and then the deliverance, man. Right? And then the kingdom is everlasting, man. So this is the times we're in, man. So, Lord will was, edifying. Lord will straight to the point. And give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakapadash. Again, double honor to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, the great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. The next time I say shalom.